Hey everyone, it's Clint. Welcome to Sweetcast, and I want to talk about promoting your books, promoting comics, and comics that promote themselves. The most sought after product that any comic creator could ever hope for is a comic book that just has legs and that promotes itself. So we're going to get into that. First off, though, I'm going to do some promotion for my own comics, and that is Downcast. You can pick up Volume 1 and Volume 2 right now on Indiegogo. And yes, Volume 3 is coming. We're about 20 pages into it, and it should be great. Our goal is to have the thing finished before we even launch. We're pretty darn close to being finished, so that's the goal. Also, Fatal is on Indiegogo right now. One of the best books that you're going to see anywhere in comics. Fantastic artwork by Charlie Snogans. I think you're going to like this story. It's a lot of fun, so check that out. Also in the link in the description below. All right, so Donny Cates. You might know that Donny Cates did an Image book. I don't know if it's his first one or not. I'm not going to make that statement. I don't know. Donny Cates did a book with Image called Crossover, which gets confusing whenever I read it places because to me, when he's saying cross, I think, is he talking about a Venom or Thor crossover? What's he? Oh, no, this is the name of his book, Crossover. So there's that. Crossover came out with a lot of fanfare, and as people read it, it did not do well. It got terrible reviews, actually, even from sources that you wouldn't think would give terrible reviews. People did not like Crossover. This puts Donny Cates in a hard situation. He says, retailers, hey, you know I don't BS about this stuff, so please believe me when I tell you that issue 3 and especially issue 6 of Crossover are going to be big, like really big, crazy big. Order accordingly, they will sell out. So yeah, how big are they that they're going to be so big that they're going to sell out? I suspect that Donny Cates is worried about continued sales of his book. Now you can be the biggest name in comics. Uh, you can have so many successful titles under your belt, and you can have legions of fans that love your stuff. But if you put out a book that people don't like, it still matters if you want to put out future installments. It matters a lot. And so in this case, I can tell you Donny Cates seems a little bit worried about future sales. Now, on the other end of the spectrum here, I had to look up Mike Grell. I don't know much about Mike Grell. I can tell you I like comics from the 80s, though. And I saw that this is on Kickstarter. Someone sent this to me, that this was on Kickstarter. It's an omnibus, oversized omnibus, and everyone I've talked to about it says that this is an amazing book. Again, I've never heard about it. So amazing, in fact, he's raised $28,000, 208 backers. This is not a huge campaign, but what you're talking about here is basically an absolute edition giant book put out from a guy that has done his first crowdfunding campaign. According to Kickstarter, this is his very first one, and I think what he did is he looked at the lay of the land and thought, "Hey, I'm gonna do my book." So I looked him up. I know all of you guys that already know, all of you that know are gonna say, "Hey, man, just like how do you not know Mike Grell?" I didn't know. I don't know. But yeah, he's known for Green Arrow, Green Lantern, The Warlord, and then John Sable Freelance, which is this book that he put up. No following whatsoever. I mean, not no following whatsoever, but he's not in the social media game. If we're looking at the last stuff in his career, you've got DC. You've got nothing terribly recent. The 2000s, from 2000 to 2003, he worked on Iron Man. That's it. That's what I have. Wait, in 2012, let's see. 2012, Grell provided a cover art for the 10-page preview comic produced by DC Comics at the 2012 San Diego Comic-Con to promote the TV series Arrow. That's it. He did some interior art on issues number 6 and 11 of the digital comic based on the TV series Green Lantern. That's it. That was 2012. The most recent thing that I can see, at least that Wikipedia has access to. Okay. But he put out a book on Indiegogo, or on excuse me, on Kickstarter, and it's drawing enough attention that um, I suspect. Let me see. How many volumes are there going to be of this thing? I think there's going to be 5 volumes or 6 volumes, and each of them is going to be omnibus size, like 12 issues collected. I suspect that these people, these 208 backers, it'll probably end up somewhere close to 500 backers. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll end up somewhere around 500 backers. I'm guessing that they'll come back again for the next installments. And that's because he has a book that people know about. And that even so many years later, this was his first comic, his entry in. So many years later, people remember and are going to back it. Despite his social media presence or lack thereof, despite any marketing machine that he has behind him. How do you do this? How do you make a series that affects people like that? I mean, you just do your best work, I guess. That's what it comes down to. But I've got to wonder, is it any surprise that some of the biggest stories people have done have happened at the beginning of their career? Why is it that that happens? I know it's not always the case, but it's often the case. At the beginning of someone's career, they do something so big that it defines them, that people remember it forever. I guess that's what got him into the industry. I guess at the same time, though, I'm arguing with myself here. You could say, well, Stan Lee didn't he didn't do Spider-Man until he was in his 40s. Okay, touche. Anyway, you get my point. This is basically the goal for any creator, is to make a book that people are going to remember and that will sell itself. The day that you hit that, the day that you make a book that can sell itself, that's fantastic. It'll always benefit, though, from some additional marketing prowess. Additional marketing is always a good thing. But having a book, of course, that sells itself is great. So can marketing make up for a book that people don't like? I guess that's my question here for Donny Cates. Can it make up for it? I think probably a little. Probably there can be some hype. I don't know how long crossover is supposed to be. Maybe 6 issues initially, at least. I'm not sure, but I don't see it lasting very long. And I don't know. I'm not blaming this on Donny Cates, actually. It's just something that happens. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. How do you create the perfect book, the perfect story that lasts the ages, that people love, that markets itself? How do you create that? Or is it a fallacy? Let me know. Don't forget to check out Fatal on Indiegogo, one of the best comics you're going to see anywhere in comics, period. Check it out, back it, help support us, help us to get to that $88,000. And we want to hit that 90K stretch goal. And then also Downcast Rise and Fall is on Indiegogo as well. Check it out, support it. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.